Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pekoski, we had hearings about mistreatment of TSA employees before this, in this committee before. And first of all, I want to say that I've gotten to know the TSA employees at the Birmingham airport, and I think they're outstanding. They do a great job. My concern is that we've had this issue of whistleblowers, and as the gentleman from Maryland just pointed out, the retaliation against them. Have you individually met with any of the whistleblowers who testified for the committee on retaliation at TSA?
Yes, sir. I met with a whole series of whistleblowers a couple months after I came into the position. Very good conversations with each of them. A couple things that came out in those conversations, no surprise to any of us in this room. First and foremost is they had good ideas that we should have listened to. And I really want and I encourage every single employee in TSA, if you have a better way to do our mission or a suggestion as to how we can improve, to please voice it. But we've got to welcome those voices when they're raised. The other thing that the whistleblowers said was that they are totally dedicated to the TSA mission, even after all they went through with respect to retaliation. That speaks volumes to me, to their character. And one of the things that I reflected back to my senior executives after I had those meetings was the fact that we do need to do everything we can to make sure that whistleblowers feel that they can come forward and not be in the category of whistleblowers, but just employees that have a better way of doing something and that we seriously consider it. Additionally, sir, we've trained about 7,000 or 8,000 people in the past year just on whistleblower protection, because I want that word to go out. This is serious business. We do not retaliate. And in fact, we should do something completely different. We should welcome that input into our work.
Let me interrupt you and ask you, how, in this training that you're doing, how much of that includes the recommendations made by the people who have been punished for being whistleblowers?
It incorporates largely everything they said.
All of the ideas that they brought to you?
Yes, sir. And the point of the training was just to make sure that the workforce knew that, hey, if somebody has an idea and they have a better way of doing business, you can't retaliate against them if you think it threatens your position or threatens decisions that you made. You just simply can't do that. And so we wanted to raise the awareness. And we also wanted to raise the awareness for the workforce that if you feel you've been subject to retaliation, there's an easy way to report it.
Well, what concerns me a little bit here is that the Deputy Administrator, Patricia Cogswell, recently informed committee staff that TSA is considering issuing directed reassignments to FSDs as part of its reorganization plans. Are you making sure that in this reorganization plan that none of these reassignments are punitive?
A couple things on the reorganization, sir. First off, no decisions have been taken with respect to that reorganization. I get briefed at the end of this week, but the process we used has been completely open and transparent, and every single senior member of the security organization that runs the security in the airports has been involved every step of the way as to what's going on.
I appreciate that, but what I'm really wanting to know is are you taking proactive steps to make sure that people who have been mistreated are not mistreated in this reorganization plan?
Yes, sir. We will do no punitive involuntary reassignments, and that's something that we.
Do you allow the employees who are being redirected to have an opportunity to speak or to request other assignments?
Yes, sir. And we may need to relocate some employees. I don't know what we're going to approve yet because I haven't seen the plan. But certainly, I want to maintain the management flexibility to put the resources in the right location. But I can assure you that we will have a conversation and a good one with each employee that might be affected.
Well, let me ask you this in the time that I have remaining. In March of last year, the committee requested documents pertaining to the whistleblower cases that had been withheld from the Office of Special Counsel, and TSA and DHS and OGC still refused to produce those documents in defiance of a congressional subpoena. In my time on the Oversight Committee, that's been one of the most frustrating things that we've had to deal with, is the failure of various agencies to respond appropriately to a subpoena. And I want to know why these documents are still being withheld from Congress, and what you're going to do about making sure we get them.
So we provided all the unredacted documents that the Office of Special Counsel requested based on the law that was passed by Congress in December of last year. With respect to the Congress, I follow executive branch guidance. But I pledge to you that I will do everything I can to accommodate as much as I can within executive branch guidance, but I need to follow the guidance within the executive branch.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I have one more question. I was sitting in on the deposition yesterday with the Principal Deputy General Counsel, Joseph Mayer, and despite a bipartisan request, DHS refused to provide the committee with emails a federal security director sent to his son pertaining to a whistleblower retaliation case on the grounds of attorney-client privilege. Do you think this is reasonable? How can we exercise oversight and
Yes,
really resolve this situation if we're going to have to continue to play these kind of games?
And having a conversation like you did yesterday with the department I'm going to take my guidance from the department with respect to what information I'm allowed to release. But like I said, I can assure you that I will do everything I can within that guidance to ensure the committee is informed.
Well, you're supposed to comply with all the laws and regulations, including the Office of Special Counsel's Reauthorization Act, and thus far, as far as I can tell, you've not produced the documents requested by OSC until the December law required it. And I just, when you delayed for months and months and months, I have a hard time seeing that as cooperative. With that, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for your indulgence, and I yield back.
Yeah, and